Just about 8:30 on a Monday morning. The week just began. Having a little burn down at the park. Bit of exercise on a Monday morning after the weekend. Quiet weekend. Well, it was good actually. Just hanging with my son. Very great. Magic. Anyway, so now the week begins. It's a beautiful day again. And those guys are out rowing in the early morning. Well, that's a good thing to do, isn't it? Who would complain about that? Monday is cinema night, and I'm rushed down some late. I've got to see a movie. I don't know what it's about, but I can't even remember the name of it. But it's great. Monday is movie night. Let's get out. You will make it to the ball. Made it to the cinema. This is not the film, it's a trailer. So the movie we went to see was called Stories That Shouldn't Be Told. And when I read it and I looked up to see what was on, I looked to see what films are on, and if I see that they're really long, I think, well, I'm not going to go. I prefer movies which are like an hour and a half, like a normal movie used to be. So I saw that one, and it said Stories That Shouldn't Be Told, and it said action, and it was an hour and 37 minutes or something like that. I thought, oh, that's great. That's the one I'm going to go and see. I didn't even look to see what it was about. Well, I saw it said action. I thought, oh, it'll be some kind of, American movie or something, crash bang, lots of sound effects and stuff like that. But so I got down there, and well, it was actually really good, because the place I go is Avenida Cinco Cines. Avenida Cinco Cines. It's a great cinema. It's been there since the 1950s. I think it's kind of independent, and they show films in the original version, with their language, and then they have subtitles in Spanish. So it's like, I missed a Japanese movie there. I think it was our Korean movie the other week, which I wanted to see, but I didn't make it in for Monday night cinema night. But they're really good, and the guys at the desk are magic, because I was in such a rush that I forgot. Because when you buy your ticket, they give you another voucher so that you can get in for €5 the next time you come there. You get a discount. But I forgot the one that I had, because I was in a hurry. I got there and I said to the guy, "Oh, just let me in, and then I'll take it next week. So I'll be here next week." So no problem. So it's good. So it's a good cinema. And it's like an old style cinema. It's been there for a long time, and it's never really that busy. I have been in and it's been really busy, but it was great. So anyway, the movie Stories That Couldn't Be Told. So I sit down and I thought, am I in the right cinema? And there's like 5 screens or 4 or 5 screens. Anyway, it's great inside, because it's all like marble and stuff, and like old 1950 kind of style, and it's great. It kind of reminds you, it has a bit with popcorn cellar and that. Kind of reminds you of like the Cameo or something in Edinburgh. And so I'm sitting there, and this film starts. I got there in time. The film starts, and it's like in Spanish, and it didn't say the name of it. And then it turns out it was like a Spanish movie, and it was like 4 short stories, and it was like really Spanish sort of thing about, they're really into sort of like, relationship things, and so it was really good. But I really got into it, so it was totally not what I was expecting. So that was great. and there was four different stories. And the actors, I knew a lot of the actors were quite well known here from the television and stuff. And the only one I could put a name to, although I knew loads of the actors, but I didn't really know their names, was Maribel Verdú, who is I think she's even been maybe in American and Hollywood movies and stuff. I think you might, if you saw her, you'd really recognise her because she has such a distinctive face, She has so it was a great movie, and I really enjoyed it. It was four different short stories, and it was funny. I got into it, and the sound was great. Production was amazing. It was all set in Barcelona. These short stories. It was great because it reminded me of when you used to get like these horror movies that were like short stories. I remember going in to see ones when I was a kid, which were by Stephen King, and it was like 4 or 5 different. And then you also had Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, which was like a set of cards, and that had Roy Kant in it, who is a trumpet player, and he goes to the Caribbean, and he steals some, and he hears some voodoo tunes, and he steals the melodies and writes them down. He's a jazz player in London. He gets back to London, and he plays these melodies, and the voodoo guys come and get him in the night. And that's Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. It's a great movie. It's a Hammer movie. But anyway, so the cinema on Monday was magic, and it was totally not a kind of typical movie that I would go and see, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was great. And in Spanish it's called Historias para no contar, stories that shouldn't be told, or stories that can't be told. So it was all kind of like embarrassing stuff for people. There was I'm not going to tell you the plot, but definitely worth checking out if you can get there. And the Avenida Cinema is a great place. Anyway, so just to end off the blog with a little bit of cinematic music. I've got to be really sitting with a guitar these days, so I've got lots of gigs coming up. And I actually have a gig with my trio, my Flamenco Jazz trio, playing my compositions, a really nice gig on the 10th of December at Acid Jazz. So I'll play a couple of solo parts, so I will improvise some solo parts, but we'll also get in a bit of a cinematic sound.